So I went around and I've asked several other YouTubers a lot of these questions, and I'm getting the same thing over and over and over. And it's mainly, what does it cost to make a build maxed out? And I've asked several of them, hey, how many do you get a day? How many are you getting a day if you're on 24 hours a day? Some people I've talked to, I kid you not, they get about 120, and the average is about 100 a day max, and that's basically flipping everything around to get exotic components, exotic weapons that they deconstruct. So they're getting 100 per day on these guys that are playing 24/7. Basically, that's all they do. Do you have time for that? I don't think you do. So let's get into this video, shall we? So developers, the amount of exotics required to make builds maxed out is what's really the hardest part about this game. So I went through and I looked at a few things and I noticed something, and I'm pretty sure other people have noticed this, but we've not actually talked about it that much. So let me show you what it is, and let's see if we could try to work on maybe fixing this. So first off, we've got, or at least I'm showing you, I've got 3 Carbine 7s. I've got one with Flatline, I've got one with Optimus, one with Sadist. The major issue is there's 3 of them. They're all the same weapon, even if they have different talents, different attributes, you know, stuff like that. Why can we not just optimize Carbine 7 and any of them that I pick up would be optimized? That would have been a great setup right there. That way, if I optimize just one, I'm optimizing all 3 of these at one time. And again, developers, though I have expertise 22, I'm going to get into this later on. But we could also just say, hey, I'm going to do like, how many does it cost? What, 20 for level 22? So again, on an average, I believe the numbers were, what, 55 just to get it up to about 20 or so, and then it's 20 and 20 and so on and so forth. So we could technically say it's almost 100 exotic components just to optimize to 22. And then I noticed this, the skills. All of the skills, like we said before, go across to every single character. So if I expertise this skill, or say the sticky bomb alone itself, I could optimize all 3 of these. I could optimize, say, turret, and then it gives me all 4 of these turrets all maximized. And those transfer to each character. So why does one weapon or something like a brand set or a gear set, why does each one of these only work for an individual character? If I expertise one of these right here, it should go to everything. Just like if I do the mask or the gloves or the backpack or the chest piece or the named items, each one of these should be spread across to every single character. This would actually make it less to where we're not having to farm, because the numbers are, if y'all don't want to believe this or not, for all of these to be maxed out and everything of each one of your builds, especially if you were to go to make every single build I have in the Codex, it would cost you 45,000 exotic components just to maximize everything in there. That's insane. 45,000, and people are getting 100 per day. Yeah, I doubt you're going to be playing this game for almost a year and a half or 2 years just farming nothing but exotics. So developers, right here in this section, if I expertise, let me expertise each one of these right here, and if I get a chest piece, a backpack, a holster, whatever, it would be 22 of that specific gear set, or even these brand sets right here. If I expertise Habsburg, Picaros, whatever, Brazos, Grupo, when I expertise that, it gives it whatever I get for a backpack, chest piece, mask, holster, gloves, knee pads of that brand set or gear set. It gives it to me at expertise 20. Now we link it. How do we link this? We link it to the expertise deal, just like right here. Now, if we want to do to where you want to make the same thing for gloves, say contractor's gloves and Fox's knee pads, you could do the same thing here. And the same with all the weapons. Rather than having to go to each individual one, you could just put it to one of these right here. So that way, whenever we expertise rifles, ARs, marksman rifles, it expertises all of them, every single one of them. It would not cost us 45,000 pieces just to do X amount of builds. It would actually just cost the player basis literally about, I'd say if I did the numbers right, about 2,500. So yeah, rather than costing to do one of these right here and the other one, and even if I have both of these over on a different character, yeah, I still have to do it again. So again, like this build right here, if I wanted to drop one of these weapons, and this is the main thing. Let's say I just picked up this weapon right here, this converted SMG9. The developers do not, and I can agree with this right here. I'm pretty sure I can think for myself as well as for the developers on this, that if you watch this, you don't want to drop a level 22 expertise of that SMG to somebody who just started playing. That's something the developers would not want to do. So we could link it to this right here. So say someone is level 18 or just started out at level 0. It would drop the weapon at level 0 for them if I were to share it to them, versus myself, it would pop out and drop it to me as a level 22. That's how you cover that aspect and cover that basis. So if I expertise it right here on my SMGs, it's linked to whatever my expertise level is. Now we can still keep the proficiency deal where we have to donate those developers, but at the same time, this allows for less exotics to be needed and players could actually get these things and the builds done. Now, if I wanted to use a PvP build, because a lot of people are crying that they don't want expertise in PvP or conflict, that's a horrible idea. People take their time and actually put their time and efforts into these things, so they need to be able to use that in PvP, period. If you don't have everything set up for PvP, then that's on you. But actually taking the time and taking that away from players is a horrible idea for those who actually did go out here and take their time and make their builds. So for instance, this build right here, this is my new one that I'm using, my pistol one, and I use this in PvP. If I wanted to expertise each one of these pieces, minus the skills and stuff like that, because the skills transfer over to each one of those, this here build would cost me about, I think, 95 exotic components for each and every single section. Again, minus the 2 skills down here. But because I've got 2 pieces of Providence on right here, right now, if I just went and expertise the Providence area, I could save myself time for just those one right there, and that automatically saves me 100 exotic components. And again, Petrov gloves. If I have a set right here on this character, it should expertise for another character as well. I shouldn't have to go over there and mess with that one. Same with like the Picaro's holster. I've got 2 on this character, right? So once I expertise one of these, it should go to the other one as well. Not just have to expertise one of these and then the other one just sits there as 0. That's how we fix this. That's where people can stop having to worry about getting exotics and things like that and going, well, I'm not getting enough exotics. So in the end, again, if I go by every single build in my codex right now and everybody wanted to have each one of those builds, there's about 48 of them. Now in total with weapons and everything else combined, we're literally talking almost 45,000 exotics. If I did my numbers right, and I'm pretty sure I've got them written down right here in front of me, it would cost everybody in the division only 2,500 exotic components just to maximize it if you were to link it to each specific piece. Rather than going to say, hey, each individual weapon, just say, hey, all ARs get expertise, and you use that for the exotic components. Same with all the brand sets and the gear sets and everything else. We're literally only talking 2,500. Everybody in this game can easily go find 2,500 by staying in the DZ versus 45,000.